Welcome to How I Failed in Business, the podcast where we celebrate the hilarious disasters, the facepalm moments, and the lessons you only learn the hard way.
I'm Rob Spence, and I apparently carry this entire podcast.
I'm Megan Grace, and apparently I'm just here for the lols.
Each week we dive into stories of success, no we don't, of business blunders, questionable decisions, and the oops moments that make success taste sweet, eventually.
So get ready to embrace the chaos, have a laugh with us along the way.
Thanks, Megan, for the lovely
right.
comments there.
No, it's okay.
Within this. I thought it was going to be harsher than that.
No.
That you put there.
It just makes you sound like a bit of a dick, doesn't it?
Do you not think I carry the podcast, though?
No.
Do you not?
I don't agree.
What I've learned about you, right? We've worked together for how long now?
6 months.
6 months. If I make a little comment, it could be the smallest comment in
Or
the
it
world.
could be like a whole speech, like a whole intervention. But carry on.
You carry it on your shoulders for months and weeks. And I've noticed sometimes I would have said something like weeks and months ago, and you just bring it up like weeks or months ago later. Have you noticed that, Molly? Does she do it to you as well, or is it just me?
I don't think so.
Molly never said anything mean to me, so I wouldn't need to bring anything up.
Do you think I'm mean to you? I am sorry. I don't mean to be mean. Do you really think I'm mean? Sorry. Am I mean to you?
Yes.
Like when? Name one time I was mean.
Right. So we were off camera, we were having a bit of a discussion about offline marketing, weren't we, and posters and billboards and everything. And we have our lovely signs outside the office that someone laughed and pointed at when I was designing them. Did that not happen?
Okay.
Did that not happen?
No, because I think because I didn't go, ha ha ha, that's horrendous.
Molly was there. Molly, what happened?
Just remember who pays your wages, Molly.
Just remember who sits next to you every single day.
I mean, you did laugh.
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yes.
You
Did I laugh?
were trying to hold the laughter in, and Megan felt really sad about it.
Oh, right. Okay. On camera, right. I apologise. I'm sorry. Never want to make you feel sad,
No.
but obviously try and let it go at some point because that was like weeks ago. If that's all right.
So probably got about like a year and a bit left, maybe.
Oh, okay.
of
Do you like
bridge
keep a little
holding.
tally chart as to how long you got? That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. But how are you? Other than hating me, how's your week been?
I'm good. My week's been good. It's
Good.
been
What
busy
have you been doing?
because at the time of recording, we're at that time of the year we start thinking about Christmas marketing,
Yeah.
which was really fun.
So what we've been doing? We danced yesterday. We did some
We
dancing
danced,
and singing.
and we sang.
Yeah,
We did. I don't want to give too much away though.
that's fair.
I want it to be a bit of like a surprise.
That's fair.
But we've got like a whole strategy. It includes offline and online marketing combined into one.
Does it include
make
some really bad
porn.
posters? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. When is for Christmas? When
Yeah.
is too soon? When is too early? Do you think?
In terms of what, like
Like
terms of what?
like thinking about Christmas, because Christmas gets earlier and earlier by
it
the day.
does. I
by the year.
think November 1st, right? You can start watching Christmas films. You can start listening to Christmas music. You can start thinking
No, I'm
November
sorry.
1st.
No.
The second it switches, yes. Halloween's out of the way. October 31st. November 1st. It's Christmas.
Molly, you're not in that same side of things, are you?
I would say second half of November
No.
is more acceptable. But
So-
I would probably
No.
wait till December, maybe.
So
No.
you'll sit down and watch a Christmas movie on November the 1st?
Well, not like. Maybe not. I don't like have like a schedule. That I have to watch Christmas movie on November 1st. But like from that point on, it's Christmas. It's Christmas vibes.
When do you put your tree up?
Oh, not until December.
Good.
But like maybe like December 1st.
No.
Yeah.
That's still no.
No, it's not.
Are you one of those? Molly, when does your tree go up?
Not usually December 1st. It's usually like the first weekend.
First weekend. That's acceptable. First weekend.
What if the first weekend falls on December 1st?
Then,
Well, if it does, then yeah, then it works out.
yeah.
Perfect. I don't.
I just think November the 1st is really taking me
But
by
I'm not
surprise.
I'm not putting the tree up on November 1st.
No, but you're watching Christmas movies.
Potentially.
So you'd sit down November the 1st. So it's, let's say for whatever reason, I don't know what day November the 1st is.
Saturday.
So, right. So Saturday night, right? You're at home.
Yeah,
Right.
I've not got any plans.
You're going to put your Christmas special of
Yeah,
Gavin and Stacey
maybe.
on.
No, I've already watched that.
What?
But I was watching the whole of Gavin and Stacey.
Oh,
it
so
makes
if it
sense.
naturally
Went
comes in.
natural,
Yeah. You'd watch a Christmas movie on.
I would, yeah.
That's no.
Why?
Because surely do you not like ruin the Christmas magic by like?
No.
Because like I love Christmas.
Mm.
Christmas is so magical.
Mm.
It's wonderful. Some would
Mm.
say it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Really?
They would. They might sing a song about it, right? But like, surely you want to like compact that in to enjoy it. Because if you start to do Christmassy stuff too soon, doesn't it not like just get boring and monotonous?
No. What we've got to think about as well, right? I've got to celebrate not only Christmas, but my birthday. Okay, so I have to prolong the whole thing because I have spent like, the run up to Christmas. I'm thinking about my birthday.
Although I guess actually that explains a lot about you and your personality and your whole psychological setup. Because, right, because you're a bit of an attention seeker, right? And like I can say it because
Coming
I'm one as well,
Wow.
right?
Wow.
So your birthday is Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for years, right, you have been overshadowed by Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Right. How obviously executive producer Lynn listens intently to this podcast. How does she split it? Does she kind of like give you fully focus of Christmas Day, beg your pardon, your birthday, and then Christmas Day? Or does she just go, oh, do you know what? I'll just give you a main present on Christmas Day. How does that work?
No. She's always very good at splitting it. So I'll get a Christmas present and a birthday present.
Okay. Right.
And
do you know what? I've never really put this much thought into your birthday, but like, how was it growing up? Because
it was quite fun.
Right.
I quite enjoyed it because the attention that you get when you say my birthday's on Christmas Eve, everyone's like, "Oh my god, no way!" Love that.
Really?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah. And then everyone's like, "Oh, do you hate it?" And as a kid, I didn't hate it. As a kid, I loved it.
Yeah.
Now, not so much. I'm trying to make plans, and everyone's busy. Like, well,
Of course, because it's Christmas Eve. Everyone's getting ready for
Christmas Eve. No one wants to go out.
Jesus' birthday.
No, I've never actually celebrated my birthday on my birthday.
Right.
Because
yeah,
everyone's busy. Everyone's got like family and stuff, which is bullshit anyway. But then no one's out. No one wants to go out on the night of my birthday and go get drunk because it's Christmas Day the next day. Oh no.
Oh,
Fuming.
poor Megan.
I know. So I've always got to do it before. But then I'm too busy celebrating my birthday and then when it's my birthday.
Yeah.
So I have to push Christmas earlier. I have to celebrate Christmas so that I can get that out of the way, celebrate my birthday. And then
Oh.
yeah. So that's why I think
As a kid, it must have been like an absolute emotional roller coaster for you, surely.
it was a
though.
very exciting time to be alive.
You don't sound it so much anymore. Oh, well, we'll have to put out like a Christmas special
Yeah.
for your birthday, all the same.
Will
Although I'm gonna have to deduct from money from your sort of birthday present fund to pay for the MacBook that you've broken.
Right, first of all, I've not broken it. Second of all, you didn't do anything about it anyway, so I've still got a broken MacBook that still doesn't work.
That you're working on today.
Yeah, but it didn't work all weekend.
Yeah, no, you never work on a weekend anyway. So
I might do if my laptop wouldn't
I think
work.
that's your influence. That's your
No.
influence.
So my MacBook just randomly one day just crashed. Didn't turn on for like
Randomly.
randomly crashed.
Randomly.
Yes, randomly. What
Okay.
do you mean?
Not because
Why
you always work on 27 projects
We
at one go.
went
No.
to the Apple Store and
Oh, I
they
can tell it's getting serious. The
and
claps are
they
coming out now.
sat down and they explained, they showed me a graph and they said, there's nothing with your storage, there's nothing with anything. The only issue with it is the battery. And they showed me the graph with the green and the red, right? Storage, it was like, I forgot all the different parts, but it was like lots of different things. Everything was green and the battery was right down here on the graph. They were like, yeah, your battery's failing. So I was like, okay, well, that's not my fault. Like, that's just because it's an old second-hand MacBook anyway, right? From like 2013, 14.
What? So I eventually came and found you
Yeah.
at the MacBook store. I bought myself a new MacBook, but that's by the by. How? Can you remember what word they used to describe that MacBook that you're using?
Vintage.
It's
The vintage MacBook. And they were like, yeah, for the amount that you're like probably doing on this, so like, is it like a personal or work one? I was like, no, it's a work one. That's why I was like, I can't make a decision right now because I need to go get my boss because I can't.
Can you stop headbutting the microphone?
I'm just getting really passionate about this. What was I saying?
Vintage MacBook.
Vintage MacBook. So they were like, we can either replace the battery, which is going to cost like however much, but because it's vintage, they don't make the parts for it anymore. So they've got to order these, like, they're going to be replacing an old battery with like an old battery.
Yeah.
So like, so don't get any like warranty or anything on it. So it literally could come back next week broken, like, and you just have to pay again, or you can buy a new one. So I pose this question to you.
I just bought myself a
you
new
do,
one.
you buy yourself a new one. You're like, oh no, Megan will be fine. She'll manage with this. Take it home, and then over the weekend it's broken again. It didn't work all of Monday either.
But it's been working fine now.
It turned back on yesterday. It's been working today. But the issue is, it keeps doing the same thing. So eventually, it's going to keep turning itself off. Eventually, it's going to go, and then where are we going to be?
But what I'm going to do, I'm going to hand you down my old MacBook,
Great.
which is probably a vintage anyway.
Exactly.
Right? But now I've broken that one. So I've wiped it. So I'm using this lovely new, honestly, I don't want to brag, lovely, you know, M4 Pro chip, gorgeous machine, right? Super quick, right? Gorgeous, okay? The one that I'm going to hand down to you is now just stuck in a cycle of it won't reset or reboot. And so I don't know what to do with it anymore. So my whole plan of handing you down this vintage machine has gone to ruin. I'll figure out. There's always a solution to every problem. But how are you going to respond to all the hate comments we've been getting on YouTube recently?
I don't know. I'm fuming.
Although
That's really funny.
I love the comments that we get on YouTube. Some of them are really nice. Some of them are really bad. I love the French one. When we edit this up, can we put those on the screen now? Yeah. So we got this comment here, right, which we'll put on the screen, all in French. Didn't know what it said, and it was in retaliation to my hate comments towards Oasis. So I put this into Google Translate, which basically said, I'm a clown, I don't know what I'm talking about, and all this kind of thing. But I've turned that hater into a bit of a fan. So I responded, and again, we'll pop that comment on the screen there, and I'll translate. I believe it says words effective. No, Rob has wonderful taste in music. He's a massive Spice Girls fan. And that person that left hatred comments has laughed and said, Rob sounds like a cool guy or something. Wow. Again, make sure you edit these comments onto the screen here.
I got told that I should be sectioned, so.
I do agree with that for a variety of reasons, to be honest. A multitude of reasons. But maybe we need to bring up like hate comments for our guest and see if he ever gets any hate comments. Do you want to welcome in the guest today?
So our guest today, we're joined by Sukhjeet Singh, who is an award-winning entrepreneur and the founder of Agency 14.
Oh, yeah! Do you know what? That even made me jump. I forgot it was
good. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it.
It was going to happen. Sukhjeet, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm amazing. Thank you for having me. Thanks for coming along. I appreciate it.
Do you ever? You are obviously. We'll introduce you and your business in just a second, but you've been quite prominent on social media. You're a speaker, and off camera you said you're going to be doing more content as well. Right. Have you ever had any hate comments at all?
If I'm honest, I don't think I really have, to be honest.
Just you wait. I'm going to go on tomorrow and just be like, oh.
Yeah, you're going to be the first one, right?
He's really good at being mean, so.
really brutal.
Honest.
But honestly, when it comes to social media, and it's always funny because with the company Agency 14, we're obviously an advertising company and we focus on meta advertising. But for the past until probably a year ago, I didn't have any social media myself for personal use.
Really?
So I don't use Facebook personally. I really started using Instagram a few months ago. LinkedIn only got a year ago. So in terms of my personal use of social media, it's always been very limited as well. But even when I do put content that's on LinkedIn or on Instagram, it usually just gets positive feedback.
Maybe you're doing a better job than us.
I don't know. Maybe I haven't the level of you guys where you have that negative and positive side, right?
Yeah.
But again, there's always going to be people who will try hate or put negative energy your way, but you just have to kind of ignore it and carry on.
Or just respond to it.
If you wanted to. It's quite the closest thing I have to it is when our clients, let's say they have an ad going out. So it's actually funny. One of our clients, they work with a football club in Nottingham, so the Nottingham Forest Football Club.
Oh yeah.
And we had an issue of of one of the players moving whilst the campaign was live, and obviously that ad in particular had that football player in the graphic.
Yeah,
as social proof for the company for the product. And it was actually funny because that got a lot of hate comments. But again, what we usually recommend you can just hide the comment on Facebook.
Yes,
and it just hides it and goes away, and again carries on, right?
Yeah, it's funny that people take the time out of their day to post negative stuff on.
So
I don't have the time to do it.
You've got better things to do. You've got better things to do.
The thing is that they've obviously watched it. They've then commented on it, which only helps us out anyway. It only boosts
Yeah.
the algorithm. So thanks. I
That's
guess.
that's why I respond, because I want people to buy. Because then if they're going to keep going and commenting,
It's funny. I also just get a lot of enjoyment out of it.
oh, we
It's
had
funny.
we had one. We will talk about business in a second. I
Don't
promise.
tell me about it.
we had one. I don't want to say his name, but he's Stinky Pete, and he's
Shout out to Sticky Feet. He's probably watching.
Stinky Pete. So he left a comment because in one of our podcast episodes we were having some cocktails. He's like, oh, what a stupid idea for a podcast. You just drinking and all this kind of thing. We responded back, said, well, tell us what your favourite drink is. We'll raise a glass to you in the next episode. And he just responded back saying, no one's
Nobody's
watching this.
that.
And I was like, but you've watched
watching
it.
Aw.
Yeah.
You have.
You've watched it. You know what we're doing, you moron. Tell us about you. Tell us about your business. Tell us a little bit about the agency. So,
Sure. So, do you want to know? What do you want to know?
how did it start? Because you told me on the phone quite a nice story about being in education, and so tell us a bit about your entrepreneurial journey, if you may.
Sure. So people always love this story because it's quite unique and different to what you usually hear. But I kind of got into business and advertising at the same time. So and it started from honestly started from one of my hobbies, which is reading. So I love reading books. So even as a kid, I kind of live in a village similar to this area right here.
Yep.
And we have a village library, of course. And even as a child, I'd always go to the library and pick up a few books. You know, my mum would take me every now and again. And, you know, it started off with fiction books or, you know, novels, etc., etc. And then when I was about, I think I was 13, 14 years old, I sort of ventured into, or even younger than that, maybe 12 at that point. But I started to really venture into the genres of finance, business, and, you know, economic books. And what started to happen was that I'd go to school and learn one thing, but then I'd come home and read books or have self-education, and it'd be completely different and contradicting exactly what I just learned a few hours ago at school.
Yeah.
So it's almost like I had two parallels running in my mind of first what these, you know, big business owners, investors are saying in their books, you know, whoever, you know, Jeff Bezos or Warren, who has written the book, right? Compared to what I was learning from the UK school curriculum in school day to day.
Yeah.
And that was really the first shift for me in terms of kind of started to question the usual flow of that people go through in terms of school, university, and get a job and then retirement. And again, the key thing, I think the book that really changed a lot for me was Robert Kiyosaki's books. As everyone said,
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Exactly.
Yeah, great
series.
books. Yeah.
Because the thing he mentioned was that right now we're no longer in the industrial age where you can get a job and you can work that job for 40 years and then eventually retire.
Yeah.
We're in the information age and things are changing a lot more now. You can't just rely. And it's actually in some ways more reliable and more stable to be a business owner than to actually just work for someone else as an employee in some cases. So again, looping back, I was reading a lot of these books. I've read countless books at this point in time. And then the second spark for me, kind of the pivotal point for me, was during COVID. So 2020. And the key thing here for me was that everything I learned in books was finally solidifying in reality. So when I, for example, read The Creature of Jekyll Island and learned about the Federal Reserve, etc., all these kind of topics started linking together in terms of what I was seeing with the governments and what was happening at the time. And the key thing here was that all of my family friends also unfortunately became redundant. And that was a spark for me that I wanted to go into business for myself. And that was a pivotal point. That was when you finally commit to something and you have that actual pivotal moment of committing. I think that was the point for me where I consciously decided that I wanted to go into business. I had no clue how, but that was the desire. Then again, you can call it fast forward a few months, I suppose. You can call it God's will, or you can call it luck or the universe or whatever you really believe in or whatever belief system you have. I kind of crossed paths with my first mentor, who runs a few companies out in London and now America and Australia as well. And he sort of took me under his wing and taught me a lot about business, marketing, sales, etc. All the skills you need to run a business, and then encouraged me to start my own business here in Leicester, which I did. So it was a case for about 3 years where I'd be going to school from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., 4 p.m., come home And from 4 p.m. to 7, 8 p.m., I'd be working on the business every single day on a repeated basis. It's even been the case where I take sales calls at lunchtime during college, sixth form.
Yeah.
On the playground, outside on the bench, because I'd have no other time to actually take sales calls. Because of course, business hours are until 5 p.m. And it was very intense. It was very intense and non-stop. Until I then was fortunate enough to finish full-time education last year, and then take business full-time. Since then, I've been fortunate enough to speak on stage, train other marketers, train other people on stage, and also winning awards.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Multi-award winner, right? Is that?
No, unfortunately not.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, so award winner is still good.
That's hopefully. One day, maybe. But yeah, the awards came up.
I mean, I don't want to kind of dangle a carrot, but every year we host the How I Failed in Business Awards.
Oh, really?
So
I think I've seen it on YouTube.
Yeah,
I've seen for season 1.
We gave out, was it about 12
summary,
or 13 awards, give or take?
Okay.
I don't want to throw shade, but no one thanked us for their awards. But it doesn't matter.
No. Barry did.
Sorry, Barry did. Yeah. So there's a chance that you could win an award
Possibly.
So you could be a multi-award winner by the end of the season. Just
Hopefully.
saying.
Who knows?
When does the season end?
We don't actually know.
Never,
We don't know, but
whenever we feel like it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but we'll keep an eye out for that. We do accept bribes. So
Okay, we'll have a chat.
Yeah, we'll have a chat. Yeah.
Right.
So I've interrupted your
No,
flow.
don't worry about it. I was going to say then, most recently, our biggest shift for this company agency for has been expanding into Toronto, Canada.
That's amazing.
So that was in August, and since then it's been expansion. So that's pretty much where we are right now.
That's incredible.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
in a nutshell, again, obviously, which we'll go into. I assume the ebbs and flows and the dips and highs. But in summary, that's pretty much how I got into business.
I love that.
As an entrepreneur.
Yeah, 100%. We'll ask some questions about your failures
Of
in
course,
just a second. But you're speaking to another avid reader right here. I love reading. And actually, I didn't show you in studio too. I've got one of my libraries. I say one of, it's the only one. What's been the standout book for you? I mean, you mentioned obviously Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and obviously the subsequent ones there. But what books, or tell you what, top 3. Top 3.
This is like an impossible question. It's literally an impossible question. There's so many books I've read which have been so pivotal for my journey. It's really, really, really difficult. It really is difficult. But I think if I had to give one which has always stood out to me, it's called Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz.
Okay, I've not heard of that one.
I read this when I was probably 14, 15 years old, and I've always come back to it every few months.
Okay.
The principles in it are so pivotal for your mindset and your internal working as an entrepreneur or business person. And have you heard of Dan Kennedy? No. The marketer? No. Okay, so Dan Kennedy is also a big digital marketer. I've gone through a lot of his stuff as well, but he's also a kind of an ambassador for that. I guess you can call it that a foundation.
Okay.
This was written in the 1960s.
Wow. Okay. Right.
But when you hear of, let's say, all this stuff around success, or you have these cringy people talking about success and how you can change your internal workings or whatever else. It actually comes back from, even if you've heard of NLP, it all kind of links back from Dr. Maxwell Maltz's study when he was writing the book. So he was actually a plastic surgeon in the 1960s.
Right.
And what he noticed on the fundamental basis was that as a plastic surgeon, he'd do surgery on a patient, but they say, doctor, we feel the exact same as before. You've done surgery on my face, but I feel just as ugly. Or I don't feel adequate enough. All these feelings that they feel internally. So he did some more research into essentially, and I'm really cutting it short. So I'd recommend, of course, doing some research. It's a great book, by the way. But what Dr. Maxwell Maltz then did was he looked more into it, and he looked into the self-identity and your, how you think of yourself, your being. So your identity is the core of who you are, essentially. Your positive ego, who you believe you are. And he realized that to actually change yourself and to change your feeling of feeling adequate and your value, it's not about.
Sorry, Meg.
It's okay. So your phone.
Look, it's on Do Not Disturb. That's why I'm really
How's it on Do Not Disturb?
I'm so sorry.
It has disturbed
I'm
us.
so sorry. You know what? Hold on. I'm really sorry.
Don't worry about
It was
it.
making the weirdest noise as
is
well.
my
If there's
rating,
any
yeah.
consolation, it's a really important issue that I'm ignoring right now for this podcast. My friend doesn't know what to wear tonight.
Oh no.
Oh,
So without me, she's going to be stuck.
she's gonna be stuck.
I'm so
Very stuck.
sorry.
So do you want us to pause?
No,
Obviously,
no, it's
Sukhjeet's
okay.
not got a business to run. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can pause the whole thing and
It's not me, it's my friend.
Which
So
friend?
explain Laura.
Laura, right? I know you follow the podcast, right? Is it that Laura?
Yeah.
Yeah, Laura. Just wear whatever. You're a wonderful human being. Just wear whatever. There we go. Is that motivational enough?
Yeah, I like the jeans. Keep the jeans.
I mean, this is going to go out like weeks after this anyway. Sorry, Sukhjeet.
No,
Sorry,
don't worry about
continue.
it. So I was just saying, with the Dr. Maxwell Maltz.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
he pretty much he created a whole sort of methodology and system around changing your self-image
Mm.
to, let's say, achieve success, whatever that means for you. Maybe it's to be a better parent. Maybe it's to be a better business owner. Maybe it's to be a better, a better tennis player, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
But at its core, that's a book that's really helped me get my mind right.
Yeah.
Because when you look at it, the majority of business, it all starts internally.
Of course it does. Yeah.
As they say, so within, so without.
Love that.
If you're not correct internally, if your heart and your head's not in the right place, no matter what strategy you use or what you try to do, you're never really going to excel, right? Because you're always going to have this thing holding you back. Does that answer the question?
It does. I'm going to say something. It's going to come across a bit weird,
Sure,
but
sure.
hear me out. I don't know the best way to word it. That's not going to be really
Say it,
weird.
just go for it.
But I think the point I'm trying to get to is I love the fact that you read, and that sounds really patronising, right? Because I'm old, right?
Okay.
So back in my day, we were brought up with books, right?
Yes.
But you're quite younger than me. I don't need to know your age, but you're quite younger than me.
Do you want to guess?
I'm gonna say 19.
Correct. Yeah. There you go. Perfect.
I am the king.
He's the king.
I am the king here. So like you're 19, right? In theory, you shouldn't be reading. You should be scrolling TikTok. You should be getting quick, short fire stuff, and you should have the attention span of a newt, right? But you're reading. Is that something that you had to really work hard for, or is like reading been natural to you? Or
I think that's a really interesting question, actually.
it is interesting at the
it
very
is,
least.
yeah.
I worded it very interestingly.
No, I mean not the wording, just the concept in itself. Because I think you're really right. I actually hated in school. I hated English.
Yeah.
For the majority of secondary school, I did
Right.
take it as I think the A level, eventually.
Right.
But I didn't really enjoy it in school. I loved reading for passion, but not really all the stuff in school until I took it for the GCSE or whatever afterwards.
Yeah.
But I think I've always understood, because I just love learning.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not in university right now, I love learning. I love education. I think I've always understood the dangers of things like social media.
Yeah.
Hence,
Yeah.
at the beginning, I mentioned I haven't really used it for personal use until 3 months ago, or even last year with LinkedIn. Because what it actually does is and you're right, even with TikTok, etc., it actually rewires your brain
Yeah.
for the worse. It lower attention spans, etc., and is a weird paradox, because as an advertiser, it does good for you and your clients and your business. You can also see that if you do it incorrectly, it can have detrimental effects on other people.
Yeah.
And so again, the idea is that you want to be using it as a tool, not it controlling your mind or having that addiction
Yeah.
or dopamine effect that a lot of people are craving, especially in, I think, my generation.
Yeah.
So I think when it came to it, even when it came to having a phone, I don't even. I remember I used to have the first one I had was like a note, the button phone.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, okay. Like
so
a BlackBerry kind of thing. Yeah,
Sort of, yeah. So and the only thing I had on that was like a radio. In terms of entertainment, it's just a radio. So you plug your headphones in and listen to music. That was all there was on it. And that was probably when I was in like 13, 14, so around a similar time.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I think about it, books were the only real way of me entertaining myself anyway.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really have a phone to sit on and scroll or social media or anything of that sort. Even if I was on the laptop, I wouldn't be doing anything stupid or just, time wasting. So I think from that point, it kind of framed me to actually read. And by the time maybe I had got a smartphone and maybe I had actually got my own laptop, etc., by then I already knew the dangers and negative effects of technology and what it can do for you. So even things like blue lights, for your sleep, for your cycles, even things that say like when people, for example, I don't check my messages until in the afternoon.
Really?
My emails. So
I wonder why you didn't come back to me earlier. No, I'm joking.
Really? Yeah, that's the reason. Honestly, the only people that are priority for me are my clients in the client chats.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I don't check any messages.
That's got to take some dedication, though.
It does. It takes discipline. It takes that routine. But what's happened is that because I've been doing it for however long now, it's almost like second nature. And when I tell people about it, they're like, "Whoa, you don't check your messages," or they even get angry at me for not getting back to them quickly. But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to protect my focus, attention, and energy as a business owner and as someone who actually has a bigger vision, not just for myself, also to impact other people around me in the world. So I guess that kind of explains why I've never really drifted towards being a consumer of social media. I really do think being a creator, like we are right now, and actually creating and producing content is a lot more impactful and beneficial, especially just scrolling.
And it's tough. It's an addiction.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know that I'm addicted, and it breaks my heart sometimes. I look outside, and not just here, but you see like just anyone, but mainly the younger generation. They're walking, and the only thing they're doing is they're scrolling. They're stood at a bus stop, and all they're doing is scrolling. And I'm like, we've got a beautiful world around us, and you're just getting sucked into this tiny little device.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you both a question because you're younger than me, right? You might be able to answer it more than yourself because you're not an avid social media user. And obviously Molly might as well because Molly's the same age as you.
Yeah.
Why do young people not upload photos to their Instagram grid? I find it so weird.
I find that weird as well.
Yeah.
I find that weird as well. Yeah.
I do sometimes.
Like
Molly posted for the first time last week.
I
noticed it. I know. I was gassed. I was so excited.
But this is the thing, right? So is that the only post that Molly has?
She's never posted before. And then like last week, I was just scrolling. On like the weekend, and it's like a nice picture of Molly, like at the Eiffel Tower from her Paris trip that she took ages ago. But I was like, oh my god, Molly's posted.
So what, Molly, we're going to pose a question to you that I mean, it's different now because like, obviously with Instagram, you got stories, you got highlights.
Yeah.
Back in my day, the only way to post to Instagram was to post to Instagram. Do you know what I mean? But if you look at my Instagram, I've got thousands of posts.
Yeah.
You look at like a younger person's thing, they'll be like, oh, I've got 3. It's like a cool thing to have as minimal posts as possible, but loads of highlights and stories. Molly, why have you only posted once?
Sorry,
I don't know. I mean, I used to post years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I used to post, and then I was like, I didn't really feel a need to, and I'm quite a private person, so I just didn't feel the need to post it. But then the thing is, I take so many pictures everywhere I go. Yeah. And I was like, let's just post one. So that's why I did it. Yeah.
Feeling a bit frisky. Yeah. Okay, lovely. Wow. It's tough, and like I say, I don't want to hear about your first failure story, but the addiction's so real. I remember once on Instagram I used to follow like thousands of people as you naturally do. And I remember one night I was a bit tipsy, which is always the start of many of my good stories. And I was like, why am I looking at these photos? Why am I wasting my time looking at this baby that's not mine, that's ugly, that I don't care about? Unfollow. Why am I looking at a photo of someone's baked beans on toast that they had for breakfast? Unfollow. And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to unfollow everyone. And it was so revolutionary. I felt so good. But the problem is, and it's the same problem that you have, is because I work in the marketing world, I have to be on social media, and I have other accounts on my phone. So on my personal account, I follow 5 people, which are like my 5 brands and 5 businesses. But then on each of those that I'm logged into, I follow thousands of people. Right. So it's null and void at the point. Because I go on my account, I see the one post that's gone out on one of our brands. I go, great. I'll go over to Paragon Cell Solutions. I'll now scroll for ages. It's horrible. But listen, tell us, Sukji, if you may, about a time in your business career where something went wrong. Tell us, have you prepared some failure stories?
I've had a thought about it. So I'm actually prepared for this.
Tell us.
The key thing, I think the first, I don't know if it could count as a failure, but it's definitely something that really held me back for a really, really long time. And that was this really, and it comes back to the Psycho-Cybernetics books, which really helped me get past this, by the way. So that's a great book, which actually helped me to push forwards. There was this really weird feeling where I almost felt alienated and isolated because I was in business as a young person, and everywhere I'd go, I'd feel like I wasn't meant to be doing what I was doing, because it was, I'd go to school, for example, and I distinctly remember. So if I give one example, it was exam season, and everyone was so obsessed with getting good grades and doing well in the exam, as students do. And they were all talking about university, and they were like, I want to get to this university, I want to get to that university. But for me, going to university was like my nightmare. So it was just a really weird paradox. And even me to the case, like if I give another example, there was one day where it was a parents' evening.
Right.
And what had happened is I had a few, so it was a day where I had a half day. And so I had three lessons. So I had no lessons in the afternoon, right?
Yeah.
So what it was from the school, there was a small area of businesses, and I had a meeting with one of the businesses, like a sales call essentially, in a meeting, right? So I walk in, it was the afternoon, and I eventually closed the client. So I was super happy. I closed the clients. I felt super good about myself, and obviously that led on to the relationship and getting results, etc., etc. But after that, after closing them, after signing the contract and everything, I walked back to school and had my parents' evening, and it was like for 2 hours. There's a constant grilling from each of my teachers saying, "Sukjeet's falling behind. He's, I'm worried about him." And again, I wasn't a misbehaving kid or misbehaving person. I was quite sensible, but it was a weird thing because most of my teachers were concerned about me because they thought should be doing well, but I wasn't in the academic side of things.
Yeah.
And that constant feeling from teachers, from family, from classmates, even though I kept business private, so they didn't even know what I was doing in the background. It was all behind closed doors. It just really weighed on me and really held me back. And it really stopped me from progressing as much as I could have. So it's almost like imposter syndrome, right?
Yeah.
You feel like you're not good enough. You feel like you shouldn't be where you are. And I think that was the first biggest hurdle for me. And it wasn't a physical thing, but it was something in my head which really held me back.
And I can see that, and I think it's quite brave to own up to that a little bit, because it's where I went through similar, but I was older when I started my business. I was 26, 27, and it was tough. Like I'd walk into rooms and give sales trainings to people who are like, 41 or, older and stuff, had done it for like years and years. And I used to like hate it. Do you ever feel that, like, because obviously you are still young and you're dealing with some business owners who are older and stuff.
Sometimes I'm talking to you, to be fair.
Why?
I'm like, he's like, because Rob's 41, right? He's quite old. And then sometimes I'm having a conversation with him, and I'm like, you're like my 41-year-old boss. Do you know what I mean? It's just a bit weird.
I feel offended and confused in all the same sentence.
No, I was just going to get a dig of you. In real terms, I don't know. I feel like because I came into this job, like I've been here for 6 months now.
Yeah.
I had like no experience. I remember in my interview, you were like, "Oh, do you have much use for social media?" I was like, "Yeah, I make TikTok sometimes a lot." Well, that was sort of it.
I have 3 posts on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. And then now clients are coming to me and like asking me like all these like questions and like, what do you think? And I'm like, and like I do know what I'm talking. I think I know what I'm talking about now. But then, sorry.
No, my face was fine. I didn't pull a
Okay.
face. Yeah. No,
but like, like they ask me things. I'm like, I don't know. And then I give them advice, and I'm like, where did that come from? Like, you know what I mean?
I think doubt sometimes, right?
Yeah. That like.
I'm going to play devil's advocate though, because I think to some degree you can use it in your favour, because I know that some of our clients, they are a bit older. They're older than 41. And they say, I don't know social media because I don't use it. I wasn't brought up with it.
Yeah, I guess,
Like I was brought up around, you probably wouldn't have heard of this, like MySpace. That was MySpace was wicked. Like code your own thing. I need to find my old MySpace account because I used to like every week change the code in to put up like a video of the week.
Oh, right.
Yeah, honestly, it was so nerdy. I'll share a photo and put it on our carousel at some point if you want. But no, I love that, and I think again it goes to show. Does that, before we move on to our first game, does that has that got better with time, do you think? Obviously now, because if you don't mind me saying, you're still technically still young.
Yeah,
you're still,
you're right.
You're still young.
Young.
Has that changed now, like the more you've done, or tell me about that?
I think the key thing for me was being around business people, because before that, like if I give it, as a timeline, I finished full-time education last year.
Right. Yeah.
And up until that point, I was only it was literally just myself and my clients, and that was it. But what I started to do, and again, this links into social media as well. When I started to become more active on social media, I remember going to my first networking event last summer holidays, and I felt that fear. But as I started to talk to normal business owners, it's made sense. I mean, you start to feel more comfortable, because you meet people who are in the same boat as you, and you realize that you're not alone in this journey, and actually everyone's here to help each other out, and you're all trying to get to a similar place at a steady rate as well. So I think the key thing that really changed for me was just being more open with being in business. So whether that be being on social media, whether that be going to events, just openly owning it. And what you find is people actually will praise you a lot more for that, and it almost validates what you already know as a specialist in what you do. So specialist in advertising or paid ads, because again, clients will tell you and give you testimonials that you're great at what you do, of course. But when you hear that from other people, I think it just really helps you positively, your positive ego. It kind of gives you that boost of confidence to actually be solid. And again, if this was me a year ago, I probably wouldn't even be willing to come on a podcast to talk about this.
Yeah.
Just because I'd be too afraid of what people would think, or
don't worry, we'll hold Stinky Pete back from you, mate.
Sure.
We'll protect you.
Okay,
we'll
sure. But yeah, so I think it has gotten a lot better since then.
Yeah.
But that's a part of growth, and that's a part of growing as a business person and as an entrepreneur.
I love that. Well, listen, I want to hear about another failure, or a deemed failure.
Yeah.
Let's play our first game if you're up for it.
Let's do it.
Right, cue the music, Moles.
No, not quite.
Oh, do you want me to? We're ever so smooth and polished on
Very
the
smooth.
podcast.
I like
It's
it.
just that Mystery Mishaps is on my phone that
Oh,
I
is
turned
it?
off. So
Oh, that's fine. I thought you were grabbing the Polaroid.
Conscious
Did you actually
of-
turn your phone? Poor Laura.
Yeah.
Laura's going to be
Laura's stressing.
panicking.
She doesn't know what to wear.
Right, get a voice note going. We'll
Live,
send
yeah,
her.
we'll do it
We'll send her a
live.
voice
No,
note. Yes,
it's-
we will.
Honestly, it's okay.
So,
Don't worry about
right,
it.
we're gonna whilst Megan sorts out her
Sorry.
social life, right?
No, I'm just getting. the
I'll
camera up.
explain the rules. How does
Sure.
that sound? So, Mystery Mishaps is a really, really fun game, but a very simple game. Are you competitive at all?
By psychometrics, my psychology, I am. But
Love that.
Yeah,
right.
sure.
So, we have here a scoreboard. We
Okay.
call it the Taylor Time Tracker. Okay,
Right.
because it's. Are you a Taylor Swift fan?
Not really.
No.
Not really,
Okay.
no.
Well, it's probably going to make no sense. But she's still got a Santa hat on. Well, it's fine. It's past November the 1st, so she's Christmassy.
It's allowed.
So this is our Taylor Time Tracker, our TTT. The
Okay.
game is simple. We're going to ask you 5 questions, or give you 5. We're not going to give you 5 clues about a business, a brand, a software, an incident that went wrong in the business world.
Okay.
Right? You've got to guess what that business, what that brand, what that company is, or who they are, as quickly as possible. And we're going to time it.
Right. Okay.
So if you look on the Taylor Time Tracker here, we've got an array of people, all of whom have guessed. So you're good friends with Venetia, I believe. Yeah. So she is sort of midway on Taylor's torso there. She guessed her mystery mishap in 1 minute 7 seconds. Wow, okay. Wow. The fastest we ever had was Rosanna at 7.9 seconds, closely followed in second at 8.2 by JC. Leading up the rear is Big Brother winner of 2005, Anthony Hutton, and just a bit above him is Megan, who was absolutely rubbish. So
I had a hard question.
she didn't. It was so.
And who's just above me? Not that much further than me.
Me, because
Right,
I was
okay.
trying to be nice. Anyway, so do you think let's use Venetia
Sure.
as the kind
The
of
benchmark.
cornerstone, the
Yeah.
benchmark
Okay,
here.
yeah.
She can do better or worse than Venetia.
So Venetia's on.
So she's 1 minute 7. She's about the torso of Taylor there.
Do I get multiple facts?
So you get five clues, 5
Okay.
hints.
Yeah.
You get 1 answer, so you can guess per clue,
Right.
right? So the quicker you do it, the better.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
Right. It'll make sense as we go along. So I need to take a little Polaroid of you.
Go
if
for
that's
it.
all okay. So it's gonna, hang on. You Ready?
I am, yeah.
Beautiful. Let's hopefully
it
was
develops.
not working off camera for some reason. But we'll...
Have the other two from earlier developed?
One
has.
did, and then
Okay.
the other one
Last one just never.
just
Never
didn't
worked.
for some reason. Ah, mister. Right. Are you ready? Molly, have we got the
Easy.
times? Lovely. Are you ready? Are you
I
comfortable?
think so. I think I am. Yeah.
Okay.
Rob, what are you doing?
Oh, playing golf this afternoon, Megan.
Aren't you a really busy, important businessman?
I am really busy. I've got so much to do. I'm still going to play golf this afternoon.
How?
Well, one of the things that business owners get caught up in is bookkeeping and simple bookkeeping tasks. But I work smart. I use Xero accounting software.
What, Zero?
Well, Megan, Xero is a highly intuitive piece of software, cloud-based, that allows you to send invoices, keep on top of your bookkeeping, and ultimately helps you run the finance of your business at a click of a button.
Wow, that sounds really good.
Do you know what? It's really good. And one of the things that I absolutely love is all of the reports. I can look at my profit and loss in the click of a finger. And what that means is that that most important part of the business, some would say the most boring part, the accounts, invoicing, chasing invoices, it's done for me, which frees up my time.
Wow, I think every business owner should have that.
Do you know what? I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. The more people can get on the golf course, the better. And listen, we have just partnered with Xero. And that means that any business owner listening to this podcast can get
4 months.
at 90% off just by clicking the link in the comments or the show notes below.
That's amazing.
Do you know what? It is fantastic. So listen, if you are, for any business owner out there that wants to be on the golf course, that wants to get out there, have some fun, all they've got to do, click that link, try Xero for next to nothing and see how it changes their life.
You ready?
Yeah.
Right. Countdown. Do a countdown.
3, 2, 1, go.
This company's growth hit pause in 2022.
I have no clue.
Oh, this is going to be a hard one already.
Any company. Any.
I genuinely have no clue. I don't know.
They lost 200,000 streamers in the first quarter, later leading to millions.
YouTube?
No, but on the right lines.
Oh, I think I know this one.
Password sharing became the #1 public enemy.
Netflix?
Stop the time. Well done.
Okay,
That was a
there
good
we go.
time. That was a good time. That's not
Thank you,
That's
thank
not
you.
where I was going from. I was thinking of someone else. What were the other two clues?
The other 2 clues were once ad-free, it suddenly changed its tune.
Yeah.
And then rivals like Disney Plus and HBO have since been rising in popularity.
Right.
There we
okay.
go.
So you'd have got it
Okay.
on the last one, surely. But
Yeah, absolutely.
done.
Well done. That.
Thank you,
I mean,
thank you.
where do you think you got on that? Like, do you think you went faster than Venetia, or were
I
you
think
slower?
well, Venetia's was a minute, right?
1 minute
yeah,
7.
It was not a minute. It wasn't.
I think maybe, 30 seconds maybe?
I think you've beat her.
I
1,
think
2, 3.
between Nim and
You're on the armpit. I reckon.
Okay.
You're around the armpit
Yeah.
of the. We might need to like rejingle this Taylor time tracker out a little bit, just spread her out a little bit.
Yeah.
But Molly, what are the official times? I'm going to need a pen, please, if that's okay. Oh, sorry.
The official time is 29 seconds.
No,
Exactly what I
29
said.
seconds. Well done, my man. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
you
Yeah.
are
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. You're 5th.
Oh,
That's
not
a
bad,
very
not bad.
respectable score.
Thank you.
very good.
Thank you.
Well done. Well done. How'd you feel about that?
I feel achieved. I feel
Perfect.
achieved. What's the inspiration behind having Taylor Swift as the billboard? I mean, as the leaderboard?
I just love Taylor Swift lyrics.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
So we're massive Swifties.
Yeah.
One of us has seen Taylor Swift live, the other one hasn't. But we still consider ourselves Swifties.
Mhm.
And have I got fluff?
Yeah, so-
Where do I keep getting fluff
Sorry.
from? Where?
I think it might be the cobwebs, like you said earlier on, from the Halloween decorations.
When you get to 41, you just develop cobwebs because you're so old. So we're massive Swifties, and then I was thinking we should get a leaderboard,
Mhm.
and for no reason other than I'm a bit weird, Taylor Swift popped into my head,
Okay.
and I thought 2 things. She then becomes, as I said to you earlier, off camera, I love alliteration, so
Yeah.
she is the Taylor time tracker a TTT if you may. But also, it reminds you, they got to be swift.
Oh, right.
Because you got to do it quick.
You got to be quick in business,
there
right?
you
Yeah.
So, mate, that is a great result. So you're in fifth position. So massive.
Who's above me?
Massive well done. So you've got, so what were you on? Sorry, 20.
9. We've got Nim,
So, yeah.
Jamie, Molly, JC, and Rosanna above you.
Rosanna.
Okay.
So yeah, so Nim was 23 seconds, Jamie
Yeah.
at 17 seconds.
Wow.
You had 10 seconds to go. Actually, you had, no, that's a lie. You had 44 seconds. You had the Lawfully Yours podcast girls
Right.
at 44 seconds. So you had some time to play around with as well, mate. So
Yeah.
Okay.
massive well done.
Thank
Is
you.
there a synopsis to the Netflix
is.
before we move on?
That is. So in 2022, Netflix faced its first major setback in over a decade when it reported a drop in subscribers, losing around 200,000 in the first quarter and millions more later that year. This unexpected decline caused its stock value to plunge by about 50 billion in a single day, making one of the company's biggest crises. The loss was driven by growing The loss was driven by growing competition from other streaming platforms like Disney Plus and HBO, rising subscription prices, and a widespread password sharing that cut into profits.
Wow. Okay, thank
so I
you.
struggled to read them.
Thank you. Let me guess, you don't watch Netflix.
I don't know.
No, I
don't
knew
really-
it.
I always get made fun of by people for not watching TV shows or movies that often. It just doesn't really interest me, to be honest. Do you guys watch TV shows? Any movies?
I sort of watch the same 3 TV shows on repeat.
And what are
Okay.
those?
Do you know them? You know one of them.
I can guess. I'm
Guess.
gonna.
Guess.
Right. So Friends will be 1.
Yeah.
Gavin and Stacey will be 2.
No.
Oh.
I watched that just like on the cuff occasionally when I'm feeling a little bit like want to push it out a bit.
Okay.
It's not one of my regular.
So what are your regulars?
3. Friends,
Yeah.
Modern Family,
Yes. Modern Family's good.
yeah, and New Girl.
Oh, I love New Girl.
Just
Yeah.
those
Oh, we've
3.
had that conversation
We have
before.
had that conversation. I
Yeah.
thought you would know it.
Sorry.
It's
Yeah.
like
Do you watch any TV or
I've
films?
heard of Friends and the Modern Family.
Modern Family.
I don't know
yeah,
the third. I've never heard of the third one, but I don't really watch any TV shows or movies that often.
Sorry.
It's okay. Is that the camera?
Sorry. Yeah.
Did it work?
No, it's just nothing even came out of it. So I think I've broken it. Oh, you keep moving.
I'm too good. I know what you're like.
We've got a jam. We've got a jam going
Okay.
on. It's not working. Anyway, yeah. Do you know what I found with like streaming? There are so many like streaming,
It seems like it. Yeah. Yeah.
and I spend a lot of money, a lot. So I don't only just pay for Netflix. I pay for the Ultra 4K. Oh, should we move Taylor out of the
yeah,
way?
maybe.
The Ultra 4K HD version of Netflix. So that costs.
Oh, so does it? You have to pay more for
Oh.
the
No,
4K
that.
version, or
Yeah. So I spend a lot of money on that.
right?
But then I have Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Amazon Prime. I pay for Sky. Like
Yeah.
I've got no reason to be bored, I guess, to some degree. But listen, sorry, this is getting a bit awkward now. Why is Taylor?
Keeps falling over. She keeps falling.
She's
over,
falling
yeah.
for me.
She is, yeah, quite literally.
There we are. So no, thanks for playing the game. Did you enjoy the game?
I did. It's very unique. Very unique. I like
Wait
it.
till the next game.
Can't
You'll
wait.
You'll like the
Can't
next
wait.
game.
Yeah.
But before we play that next game,
Uh-huh.
tell us about another kind of little failure, another story that you want to
Sure.
share with us.
I think another thing for me, I don't know how much you guys can relate to this, so let me know. It'll be an interesting conversation. But for me, I think it was this concept of trying to separate. So in my life, my two key biggest interests are business and spirituality / religion, etc.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I always tried to really separate business from religion and my spiritual life. And it was this weird conflict because even when I look around, I'd see people who are very money driven and very worldly.
Yeah.
But I'd also meet people who are very, what's the words? Spiritual, I'd say.
Sure,
And
yeah.
they just renounce the world and they're very almost like woo-woo.
Yeah,
And they're obsessed over yoga or meditation. And there's a very stark contrast. And for me, the big shift for me, and that was another thing that really held me back for a long time until I brought the two together, And what I found was that both my spiritual life and my business life were elevated by being at peace with both and bringing them together and combining them.
Yeah.
So what sort of happened was that, and the reason I say it's a mistake is because I think it's a really big misconception that you can't be spiritual and progress in the worldly sense either.
Yeah.
And people have this concept: if you believe in God, or if you read the Bible, or, you follow the religion or whatever else, you can't, you hear the phrase "money is the root of all evil." That comes, I think, from the Bible, when it's actually not true. Is actually the love of money that is the root of all evil. All these little nuances which people have embedded into common knowledge and common societal knowledge, which is actually not true at all. And I've seen that impact me being, trying to be spiritual and trying to be in business a lot. And it can't be a constant. It's almost like, when you have two magnets, they repel each other.
Yes.
Like you're trying to get to do something, but it's never going to go stick together.
Yeah.
Right. Because it was almost like you're making the two perspectives push against each other.
Yeah, I love, and it is tough, but because I didn't find it difficult personally, but looking on the outside in, because I know we've got some clients of whom are heavily Christian, and I've worked with clients of whom own huge businesses, like multi-million-pound businesses, and they've got a very Christian faith. We've got other clients who are maybe more spiritual than a set religion kind of thing. And I think early on I always tried to find that understanding, because I'm not very religious. I believe in stuff,
a higher being or something.
I believe something's there. Some of us believe in special numbers. Special number. Megan keeps seeing angel numbers.
Oh, like when people say 11,
Yes.
right?
Yes, we saw 11 today, didn't we? Didn't we?
Yeah.
Wow.
We did. It's weird that Megan's got her alarm set at 11:11.
Really?
she has to see it.
That's not true.
But even one thing, Megan's score here was 2 minutes and 22.
Oh, right. Okay, so it's like 2, 2, 2.
Yeah.
Triple,
Exactly, yeah. And we've seen a lot of the numbers, haven't we?
Yeah,
But
it's a whole thing.
everyone's got their beliefs, and
Exactly.
I think you are right. It's trying to understand how that correlates. And coming back to what you said about money, I once read, and I can't remember which book it was in now. I believe it could have been a Tony Robbins book.
Oh yeah, I love him. Yeah,
yeah, great guy. And I believe he wrote words to the effect of, "Money is just like a magnifier. If you are a horrible person, having more money will make you a even more horrible person. If you're a great person, having money will just make you a better person." So again, this belief system of money is the root to all evil and all that jazz. I always think that's only said by people that are jealous and don't have any money. I've never heard a rich person say that.
You really are spot on. Yeah.
I think it is just like that magnifier. So if you don't mind me asking, because again, like I said, I'm not overly spiritual. What was the kind of catalyst for you to kind of find that blend, to turn those magnets around
and
there,
bring them together? So I just wanted to quickly mention that you're completely right with the magnification thing. And even when we talk about social media, it's the exact same thing. You've got different tools to just magnify yourself as a being.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether that be social media, money, your business, etc. It's just an extension of you. And it is. I think it was Jordan Belfort. He said this. But I remember Jordan Belfort saying, I think it was one of his programs. He said that, someone who lacks, you can't help. If you lack money, if you lack resources, you can't help anyone else. The more resources you have yourself, the more people can actually help and bring up with yourself, right? So it's a key thing to actually acquire resources as a being living in the modern world.
I agree.
To progress and help other people as well, whether that be through business or personal life.
And it's funny you raise him, because he is a very controversial figure. I mean, he obviously inspired The Wolf of Wall Street. Great film. Watched it again weirdly the other day. And I've read a number of his books. I even went down to London to go and see him. So
he's in sales as well, right?
Yeah. So I remember back in 2017, I was still in full-time work. So I was going through that transition of, I was working a 9 to 5, but I knew that there was more to life. So I was investing heavily. I wasn't just getting into work for 8, leaving at 5 and going, well, I'll go home and watch Netflix. I was, right, I'm going to go home, I'm going to read, I'm going to go to this seminar, this
transitional
webinar.
Period,
And I saw this event with Jordan Belfort, The Wolf of Wall Street, and I drove down to London, got to the Apollo, And I found the whole thing very inspirational, very motivational. But protesters turned up,
really,
and interrupted him. Yeah. So
geez.
that, towards the end, this group of people stood up, going, "When are you gonna pay back this money? When are you gonna do this, that, and the other?" And security guard were called. And he's a very controversial figure.
Yes.
Have you studied do you know much about? Have you read his books and so on?
Sure. So it's actually interesting. There's links to haters as well, which you were speaking about earlier on. I have watched the movie.
Yes.
That was only because a client recommended me to watch the movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's very hedonistic, etc. But for me, the allure for me originally was his sales methodology, the straight line.
Great. Yeah, great. Yeah.
And again, you'd be well versed in it since you're in sales anyway. And so what sort of happened is that, again, before, of course you have mentors you have in real life. But you have people who you've never met before who act as mentors as well through their content on social media or through their content in books or their programs or whatever they put out there. And he was someone like that for me in terms of being a mentor I've never met or probably will never even meet. I don't know. And just inspiring me. And what really inspired me about him was that even though he led a hedonistic and criminal life for the younger years of his life and being very greedy, he changed. And he had that shift.
Yeah.
And he's actually gone the other way. And he was honestly one of the biggest people who inspired me to, when it comes to ethics in business, not working with people who are unethical, for example. So when I work with a client, I always ask myself 2 golden questions. The first question is, does this business deserve the exposure? Does it deserve more customers? Does it deserve more sales? Because not every business out there actually does. Because not all of them are ethical or not all of them align with what I believe in as a person, being honest and integral, or what my company believes in. Second is, can we actually help this company? Because as much as I love paid ads, you can't help everyone, right?
Agreed.
So I think for him as a figure, although he has a lot of hate around him, he's inspired me because of his shift and changes. It's not the fact that he was a criminal and he made $52 million in a year. It was the fact that he went from being someone who was greedy and was controlled by vices and the 7 sins, if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah.
Someone who's actually shifted to be more altruistic and giving and serving and helping other people. But yeah, I think he, in all, he's definitely inspired me.
It's quite funny because you've raised a valid point, and it's one that I didn't really pick up. And I mean, I've like I said, I've read the books,
yes,
including the original book he wrote, The Wolf of
Wall Street,
which inspired the film. And I was watching it again the other day just because I wanted something like easy viewing. I know what's happening. I don't need to like focus. And I think like it really like highlights what we're trying to do here on the podcast, because in theory, right, he failed. Right. I mean, he had a
and that's what this is all about.
Exactly.
It's all about failures.
Exactly. He lost his family, lost a lot of money. Obviously, he would have kept some money naturally, got put in prison for so many years and so on. He could have so easily, after that could have been it. That could have been finite. That could have been over. I'm going to live on the money that I've got. I'll just get a normal job. I'll hide away, whatever. And like you say, he actually went, I was a dick. I was a bit of a toe rag back in the day. But I can help other people. Exactly. And I can teach other things. And I think
that's a really key thing as well for me, is because growing, even when I got into business, my biggest struggle was learning how to communicate and sell.
Right. Yep.
And that's a story in itself. But I was always kind of labeled as being shy, and of course that belief grew as I grew up. So even when I went into business, I'd struggle to maybe communicate or talk to clients. But he was someone who really, by actually making this change in his personal life and actually going through to help other people with what he's learned and what he's created with his system, actually really impacted my life and my business. So it's really beautiful to see, even when you don't listen to the hates or don't listen to people who are trying to pull you back, etc. That really can push other people forward, and that's what it really is all about. It's really about helping other people. And again, another key thing for me was that it's funny. I don't even know if I should be saying this right now.
Say it. We can cut it after if it's completely illegal. Did you make 54 million by ripping people off last year?
No,
Is
I
that what
didn't,
you're saying?
unfortunately not. Or maybe I did.
Yeah. It was 52.
Yeah, 52, yeah. One more. But what it was, right, is even in school, I'd listen to audiobooks
Right,
in
yeah.
the lesson. And it was just a way of me trying to excel my business knowledge.
Yeah.
And trying to make use of that school time.
Yeah.
But all these small things which I kind of did, they've all kind of fed through to who I've become and where I am right now.
Yeah.
All that knowledge, you remember, and I might have not used it then, but I'm using it now or eventually in the future. So again, even sacrificing that kind of full-time education or that learning in full-time education for knowledge that I actually need for my journey, it was valuable in the end.
But I think that proves a valid point. And I could talk for hours about, mainstream education and academia. I think and again, I don't want to go full Simon Squibb. I don't know if you watch much Simon Squibb.
I think I've seen him on LinkedIn. Is he the guy who...
What's your dream?
And he interviews people on the street.
Yeah, he's gone a bit haywire recently, in my opinion. But and he's very anti-employee. Like his dream is to make sure no one ever is an employee, which I don't agree with because businesses are built on employees.
Yeah,
he wants everyone to go self-employed, which is a bit bonkers. But don't know where I was going with this. But I agree wholeheartedly that school fits and works for some. I think school actually, when we think about school and education don't actually teach you micro elements. School and education teach you how to be an employee. They teach you that you need to be at a set place of work at a set time. You should be dressed in a set way. You should finish assignments and you should pass these tests. I mean, I'll bring you into the conversation, Megan, a little bit. Like, have you ever used anything that you learned at school in your day-to-day work?
No.
When was the last time you used the Pythagoras theorem?
I used that this morning.
I was going to ask, have you ever looked at a triangle and gone, do you know what?
Angle,
by working out these angles, I'm going to work out the length of that side.
No, funnily enough, I've actually maybe if I was like a build, I don't know, builders.
Oh God, you building?
Well, you can just get the measuring tape out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not. Yeah,
we're being taught a theory that was created in like the 1600s
exactly.
because they didn't have tape measures.
It
doesn't make any sense. Whereas schools aren't teaching us interest rates. They're not teaching us about investment.
The actual practical knowledge you need.
Yeah, exactly. And again, school, I think school is important. I think education is important. And I think one of the key things from school is social education, understanding how to be social, how to develop, that kind of thing. But
life skills, right?
Yeah. But that wasn't the stuff you were taught. That was stuff you picked up from being there. That wasn't.
Yeah. Exactly. I do, and I think we will see change in our lifetime a little bit.
Eventually, it's actually. I was at the Festival of Entrepreneurs.
Lovely.
2-3 weeks ago, right. I think. It was in Birmingham at the NEC.
Okay.
And they mentioned something in their the opening keynotes, which is really interesting. And they had the 5 panelists from, I think, the Federation of Small Businesses.
Right,
and they had someone from I think it was Dragon's Den or something, but they have different people from different industries, essentially.
Yeah.
And the key thing that one of the guys mentions, which really stuck to me, was that in the UK, compared to America, being an entrepreneur, being in business is really looked down upon almost.
Yes.
Compared to when he was in America, he was saying when he was in America, it almost felt like he was a superstar because it's encouraged so much over there. So much so that, and I saw this a bit when I was in Canada as well in August, that everyone there almost has a second stream of income with some sort of businesses that they're trying to pull together.
Or like side hustle kind
of sort of in the background, right? Compared to the UK, which is very, what he said from his perspective is very minimal in the sense that they just have a job and that's pretty much it. And there's not really any other push. So I do think that the UK encourages entrepreneurship less than, let's say, America?
I can't compare it to America because I'll be honest, I don't know much about America other than watching, Modern Family and Friends and, and all that jazz.
A lot.
But I understand the concept, and I think, and I was talking about this to someone the other day. I think there's too much money in like higher education. Like if you look at where money is passed from government into students, university students, and if you look at a lot of the nighttime economy and to some degree, city economy, it's all student led. So if you think from an early age, we are groomed, we are nurtured to think that we've got to go to university, because then that
Yes.
then helps the economy. That then helps these loans come down from the government, and then they get paid to these university. If you look at the balance sheets of universities, these are some of the richest companies, probably only second to the Church of England in terms of like land ownership, I guess.
It makes sense, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we are pushed, because I remember when I left during A levels, but partially because if I didn't work, the bailiffs would have taken our house. But like, I was being groomed by the college to go to university.
Exactly.
They were like, go visit. Tell you what, we'll take you on a coach. We'll take you to Bath University. We'll take you here. That's all they wanted. It was never, hey Rob, what do you want to do when you're older? Like what? It was go to university.
Yeah.
Go to university. That's the only thing that you could ever do. Like, I just think there's too much. And again,
I agree.
I do think it's changing. But what I've noticed is that schools in academia don't use the word entrepreneurship. They use the word enterprise.
Interesting.
And again, I've never really understood why, but because I go into a lot of schools, do a lot of talks, and they'll go, come and talk to us about enterprise. And I'll be honest, in my head, I'm like, I don't really know what that means. I don't know what the word enterprise means. But then you get there, it's all about entrepreneurship and business ownership and so on. But mate, I feel like we could speak for hours. I feel like we could sit down and we maybe have to do a second episode at some point. Depends how big your bribe is to win an award with this. Who knows? But we'd like to play our final game with you, if that's all okay, before we wrap up. So are you going to take the lead in on this one as well, or? So we've got a game. It's called Icky Linky. Okay. So you said that you sporadically go on LinkedIn, I think, or you're quite active.
I mean, that's really, if I had to put a tier list of what social medias I use the most, LinkedIn's on the top.
Fair enough. Yeah. So you've scrolled LinkedIn. You've seen those posts that give you the ick. Those allow me to tell you the business lesson I learned by attending my nan's funeral, or that kind of LinkedIn post where you're like,
you cringe a bit, right?
That is disgusting. So what we do every week, we either scour LinkedIn for a post that just gives us the ick, that just makes us feel a bit, oh, that's weird, right? Or we completely invent one, right? All you've got to do is guess if it's true, if it was a genuine LinkedIn post, or if it's completely made up. Okay. Have we got the results from last week?
We do have the results from last week.
So what was last week's?
So last week's post was, when I first started in marketing, people told me to be authentic. So I built a brand around authenticity, vulnerability, and a relentless 5 a.m. grind. This week, I cried in a meeting. Emotion equals brand. Pivoted a brand at midnight and wrote a 12-step content calendar in one sitting. Moral of the story, if you want viral content, stop trying to go viral, just be you. If this resonates, like and comment your favourite emoji.
What did I say?
What do you think you said?
I think that's made up.
You did say you thought it was fake. Molly thought it was fake. And last week's guest, JC, thought it was true.
What do you think, just quickly? Do you think that's true or false? Do you think someone would have, authored that, or is that made up?
I wouldn't be surprised if someone did. So I'm going to say, I think it is true. I think it is real.
You think it's true? What's the answer?
It was made up.
Oh, really? Okay.
A made up post. Why did you laugh at emotion equals brand? I thought I might use that in my next one.
I thought that was just one of your posts. No. Right, let's do this week's then.
Okay, ready for this week's.
Right, you understand the rules?
Just true or false?
True or false, and we'll reveal the true answer next week. So unfortunately, you're gonna have to follow.
I've got to wait a week.
You're gonna have to subscribe, right? Yeah, and you're gonna have to check it out.
Right. This week was truly life-changing. After an intense brainstorming session at 3 a.m, because why sleep when you can innovate, I realised that the key to unlocking unprecedented growth was right in front of me in the office kitchen. Yes, you read that right. While making my 4th cup of artisan oat milk latte, I had an epiphany. We can triple engagement by gamifying the weekly reports. I immediately pitched it to my manager, who hesitated at first, but after a 30-minute whiteboard session involving flowcharts, sticky notes, and interpretive dance, we secured buy-in from the entire leadership team. By Friday, we ran our first treasure hunt, and the results were staggering. Productivity up by 17.3%, morale skyrocketed, and even the office plant Gerald seemed to perk up. This experience reminded me that innovation can strike anywhere, even in the break room, and the most disruptive ideas can often start with coffee and sheer determination. #innovation, #leadership.
Over to you. What are your thoughts?
I think my thoughts are, is this too long-winded? I don't know. It just feels like they're joining on a bit.
Yeah. I mean, so much so that Molly yawned.
Oh, really?
Halfway through that. Didn't you? Did you yawn?
No.
Oh, I thought you yawned. Sorry. Sorry.
It's almost like, you know, again, I mentioned this because you're both in marketing, right? But you know, when you see someone who's not a copywriter and they try write content,
Yeah.
they try writing ads, and it's just terrible. It sounds like that. So if it is, I'll give that answer. But I think if it is true, then they're not a well-versed content or copywriter. But I think it's too long to actually be real. So I'm gonna go false.
False.
I'm going to say false. I'm going to put my old police hat on. Right? Read the first line to me again.
This week was truly life-changing.
No, keep going.
After an intense brainstorming session at 3 a.m.
Yeah, so stop. Right? So 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Right? They've then gone into the kitchen to have their fourth ice latte or whatever.
Yeah.
Then instantly, the word instantly is put in there. Instantly spoke to my manager. Right, instantly.
At 3 a.m.
At 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Right?
Why would they be awake?
Not going to be happening. Not going to be happening. And then we pitched it to the whole management board, I believe, or words to the effect of. So I call bullshit on that because being up at 3 a.m, I understand.
I think they had their brainstorming session at 3 a.m. and then made their coffee in the morning.
No,
and then
I'm with you. False story.
It's false for sure.
Molly, where you at?
Yeah, false.
Okay, we'll reveal it next week's episode.
Okay,
Cliffhanger.
Exciting. Well, listen, we're going to start to wrap up there for two reasons. One, because we've spent a lot of time talking to you. Your time's busy. But secondly, because the set's just fallen down.
It has,
Yeah.
The wonderful brown tape failed halfway through that.
Oh, who would have thought?
Has probably just changed the whole lighting in the room. Who knows? But listen, I know that a lot of our audience are going to want to keep in touch with you. They may need you for Facebook ads. They may want to talk to you for Facebook ads. Remind us the name of your agency. Tell us how they can contact you. Where's best to find you?
Sure. So if I just give you one link, just connect with me on LinkedIn. That's the social media I'm most active on. Just, you know, let me know you've listened to the podcast and you like what you hear, and that's pretty much it. And we can go from there. You can also find my websites all on there. Just LinkedIn. I think the URL is actually Sukhjeet Singh, because the hyphen by itself was taken, and it's always Sukhjeet Singh.
So you have to double hyphen.
It's double hyphen, yeah. And that's the LinkedIn account.
Well, we'll make sure we put that in the show notes below so people can click it
and
come and find you all the same.
Thank you.
But mate, honestly, you've been great to talk to. I think that we could do another follow-up episode because there's so much. Excuse me, there's so much more that we could probably
talk about.
Run through. Maybe we'll do a follow-up episode at some point. But thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation.
Thanks for being a great guest.
Thank you.
And thanks so much to you, the viewer, the listener, for being so. I was going to say wicked then, for being so wicked. And that's a wrap for today's episode. Remember, every flop is just a plot twist in your story.
Thanks for listening. If you laughed, cringed, or learned something new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and leave us a nice, Stinky Pete, a nice review.
Until next time.
Bye.